Hi everyone, this is Natural Health Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Teresa Dale. It's great to be with you today. You know, we are your Health Freedom News to bring you information, new information, possibly old, ancient information to make your life better, easier, and to make healing quicker. So from last week, we had some questions that you emailed in that I would like to go over. But first, I want to tell you that this week, we're going to be discussing how to help high blood pressure by using food as medicine. We are going to be discussing the foods that help to eliminate or to help to reduce hardening of the arteries and clogged arteries. We want to be sure that you get this information. From last week, the questions are that once we talked about human papillomavirus last week, and the question is, once you have human papillomavirus, how can you get rid of it? And can this virus spread through spraying with chemtrails? So these are some brilliant questions. All of my listeners, we have very intelligent, savvy listeners that are on top of things and on top of the news and want to get the best possible information for themselves. Human papillomavirus, once you've had it, how to get rid of it, how to get rid of the vaccine. It wasn't clear to me, but once you've had the virus, how to get rid of it. Well, let me tell you about what they do in Europe. I don't think they have it in Europe because if they do, it's very in a minority of cases that they have human papillomavirus in Europe. But how they deal with it is they make homeopathic remedies, and you can use homeopathic remedies for human papillomavirus. You can contact our members area, become a member, and possibly we can tell you where to find it. But there are homeopathic remedies made for every virus, pretty much every virus I've ever seen. You can get a homeopathic remedy for it. And as you know, homeopathy is non-toxic, has no side effects, and it's very effective. So we want to stay to using the things that are effective. Besides a homeopathic remedy that is specifically designed to heal human papillomavirus, we also want to cleanse the body. So I can recommend the slow cleanse to you, or the whole body deep cleanse, which will help prepare the body to detoxify all of the filtering organs, the kidneys, the liver, the colon, pull the toxins out of the blood. That's right, a blood cleanser, and also to strengthen the immune system. So that would be a very important thing to do to prepare the body to detoxify in all organs, and it has to be done simultaneously, along with any homeopathy. You have to do it in the same protocol. The other thing I would recommend is you can use an ionic silver formula, and this may help tremendously. So an ionic silver formula. You can check out Dr. Dale's Wellness Store, and you can check out our ionic silver, but taking that orally. Also, you can spray that vaginally. You can put it anywhere. You can even, the possibility exists, if your doctor recommends this, is if a person has asthma, and you might want to think about talking with your holistic health practitioner, whether it's a chiropractor, a DO, an acupuncturist, a naturopath, a homeopath, okay, about adding the ionic silver to a nebulizer so that when you're helping asthma, you're using ionic silver. Now, silver has a tremendous amount of research. They even use it on bandages today to cure bacteria and viruses. So think about that. They use it for many, many different things today. Okay, so I'm just saying this may not be good for everyone. I'm not telling you legally, I'm not telling you to do this. I'm telling you to discuss it with your holistic health practitioner, and so that possibly you can get away from those medications and get into the natural. And so that would be very, very important. So the next step would be to discuss, can you spread it through spraying with chemtrails? So does chemtrails contain human papillomavirus? I don't know, because it can contain many different things, including bacteria, including viruses, but I don't think it's the same concoction that's sprayed in every city. I think it has, in some cities, it has more heavy metals and various kinds of contaminants, you know, maybe it's arsenic or boron or mercury or whatever. And in other cities, it may include some viruses and bacteria. I'm saying it's possible. Anything is possible when it comes to that. Okay, so that is the answer from last week. If you have a question from what you're going to hear this week, make a note, email us, and I'll answer it next week. That's the best I can do to get to you, and I'm so glad that you're with me again this week. I'm so excited to be able to present this information to you to help you have a better life. And another thing we're going to be discussing is food, and what foods actually can keep your arteries clean and clear. Now, this doesn't mean that if you already have hardening of the arteries, that eating these things alone will fix it. This means, as a preventative, the kind of foods that actually are good for your body and help the arteries stay clean naturally. Okay, so we're going to go over this. Get your pen and paper out. All right. One of those things is avocados. Now, rather you have the avocado than the avocado oil. The avocado oil is processed, and I'm not sure if it'll work as well as the avocados, but the avocados are really good for helping that particular issue and your cholesterol level to stay normal. Now, you have to eat organic avocados, right? And then you're going to also you can use olive oil, organic virgin olive oil. Okay, olive oil, when it's organic virgin olive oil, it is known and proven to increase your good cholesterol, your HDL. So it will improve your good cholesterol levels. And then we have things like nuts, which do have an amino acids and are very healthy for the body, and the fats are very good. And then we have curcumin or turmeric. Okay, so you can add turmeric to food, take it in capsules. Cinnamon, something delightful that you can eat on a regular basis. Of course, get these things organic, right? And then we're looking at persimmons. Persimmons has known factors within it that is very good for keeping cholesterol and the bad cholesterol very low. And then we're looking at asparagus, blueberries, broccoli, which is phenomenal for the body and the cholesterol, and spinach and pomegranates. So that is your list for the moment of all the things that can help keep your arteries clean, which is so very important. And I want to hear from you. I want to know what you want to hear me talk about. And I'm going to get to as many things as I possibly can in this hour. One of the most important things that I could discuss with you is about high blood pressure. and how people are told to eliminate salt. And this is a prescription when you go to a doctor: eliminate salt, stop salt, okay? And basically, there are many studies, and I'm looking at some now, that have shown that eliminating salt is really negotiable because the body needs it, especially if you exercise a lot and you sweat. You need to eat some good Himalayan pink salt or some kind of natural Celtic sea salt or something natural that's good for the body. So salt doesn't really contribute to high blood pressure. Isn't that something? And this has been proven now. I'm looking at 3 scientific studies that indicate that it's negotiable. Like, there's a lot of results and tests and studies that show that it makes no difference. Okay, so the thing that does make a difference, get ready, is sugar. Okay, sugar is the worst thing for high blood pressure. Sugar, any kind of sugar, white sugar, even evaporated cane sugar, even if it's organic. So you want to look at the type of sugar that you have and that you eat, and you want to definitely encourage your family, yourself, when you go shopping, on your hit list, make it stevia, make it xylitol, make it coconut sugar, make it a little bit of maple syrup, make it brown rice syrup. Do not make it agave because of the fructose. It's a very high, 85% fructose. So we don't want agave, okay? We don't want evaporated cane sugar, and we don't want white sugar. We don't want brown sugar because that's white sugar that's colored. Okay, so what we want is to, if you have a blood pressure issue, you should avoid sugar completely. That's the most important thing from all of this, is that, and there are many different recipes today that are available that give you options. In other words, you can make it with regular sugar, or you can make it with maple syrup, or coconut sugar, or xylitol, or something like that. So to keep blood sugar stable, avoid sugar. Now, I know there are some of you out there who are wondering, well, what if I have low blood sugar? Will eating sugar make that normal? No, it'll make you sick. It'll affect your pancreas in a negative way. You know, all of you that have very low blood pressure, okay, if you have very low blood pressure, what you want to do is know, is that familial? Is it in your family? And oftentimes that's normal for you, okay? But sometimes by working with your adrenal glands and adrenal energy, and getting your body energetic to the point where you don't have fatigue, where your body is balanced, when your thyroid is balanced, when you find balance in your body, your blood pressure should come up. If you eat a lot of sugar, then you are going to have blood sugar issues, pancreatic issues, hypoglycemia, things like that. So whether it's hyperglycemia, diabetes, avoid sugar. If it's blood pressure, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, avoid sugar. But for hypertension, sugar is worse than salt. Salt, especially if you're eating Himalayan sea salt, Celtic sea salt, it's quite good for the body. A little bit goes a long way. So you can consider that and check out some of the studies. Just Google studies that says that high blood pressure is caused more by sugar consumption than by salt. Just Google that and you'll see all these studies come up for you to review, because I want you to review them, and my telling you about them isn't going to really, if I give you the names right now, it's not going to help you. But instead, if you Google it, you'll see all the studies come up right in front of you. You want to definitely do that. And the studies are very compelling. And it's like, you're having so many medical doctors that are contradicting, and from different countries as well, what we've been telling, and not we as but what health providers have been telling their patients for years. So I've told people as well in the past, if they have high blood pressure, I've asked them, how much salt do you eat? Rather than saying don't eat salt, you find out how much you do eat. And if they say, well, I don't really salt my food, once in a while, but not every meal and maybe hardly at all, then I wouldn't worry about it, because it's the sugar that's creating the problem. So we understand that sugar is a killer, and that is one of the worst things you could ever put in your body, is sugar. The other thing is pesticides. Okay, so I have a couple of things there to help you. Okay, let's say you are eating sugar and that you have hypoglycemia or you have a blood sugar issue. You know, there are emotions related to that as well. There's emotions related to hypoglycemia and diabetes because they're both affecting the pancreas. The pancreas is key to get healthy, and there's emotions related to the pancreas. And those emotions, according to the 5-element theory of Chinese medicine, are low self-esteem and rejection. There could have been, and this has happened in many cases of patients, when in childhood something happened to them that caused them to have extremely low low self-esteem. So something happened either at school, with a teacher, with a boyfriend, with a girlfriend, with a parent. Something happened to cause them to have low self-esteem, and then that was not fixed. However that happened, that child didn't get any help. Somehow it got compounded, and they ended up getting diabetes or hypoglycemia. So I made neuroemotional remedies. You can find those on my website. There's one for every element in the 5-element theory of Chinese medicine, and that means there's one for every emotion and every organ. So I have neuroemotional remedy number 9, which is for pancreas, and that is related to low self-esteem and rejection. So you definitely want to check that one out, read about it, and see how that feels to you. It's homeopathy, it's non-toxic, and I will bet you, if you find that place in you that feels low self-esteem, like the child that maybe you had when you were, very young, or rejection, and if you find that place, and if you can feel it for a minute, and you put those drops under your tongue, I will bet you that within a few moments, they're gone. That's how quickly it can work. Read the directions on the label. They're non-toxic, they're FDA registered, and they're all made at FDA licensed and registered homeopathic pharmacies. So we want to use neuroemotional remedies to handle physical and emotional things according to what we know our needs are, and you know best oftentimes what your needs are. And let's say you're not sure what the problem really is, you can go to wellnesscenter.net, go to the top of the page, and look for free self-tests. And you can take this little test. It just has all of your symptoms grouped, and then you tend to find out exactly what the issue could be from that, or where to look from there. So I would do the free self-test, and you'll get a response after you fill one out. So I think this is very important. We started talking about hypertension, high blood pressure, and that sugar has been proven now to be worse than salt. Okay, so the doctors don't mention anything about sugar. They're all over the salt. Don't eat salt. Okay, well, when you examine what most people do who have high blood pressure or know that they have high blood pressure, they're going to normally just cut down on the salt because they heard about it. But they keep eating sugar, and their blood pressure, they may have to go on a medication. Why don't you try eliminating sugar completely and instead use stevia, use xylitol, use maybe a little bit of coconut sugar, except if you have diabetes, I would not use anything but stevia and xylitol, okay? So I would say that hypertension today, as we know it, could also be a thing of the past if we learn to use food as medicine. So food as medicine is so very important to realize that when we eat certain foods, it actually is a medicine to our body. And then when we think about foods, it's nice to enjoy them, but it's also nice to realize that the food that you're eating, if it's healthy, it's going to act as a medicine, some kind of a medicinal property for the body. And especially when you have things like turmeric and you're eating asparagus, you're eating broccoli and spinach and avocados, and all of those foods are very, very, very healthy foods. And olive oil is actually, for people with hardening of the arteries, or they have very high lipids, you do a couple of shots, like a half an ounce or maybe a quarter of an ounce of organic virgin olive oil a day. And it has been shown, I have seen so many studies, that it increases the good cholesterol, the HDL, and it lowers the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. So we definitely want to look at the good and the bad cholesterol, and we know that certain things increase it. Salmon increases it. The fish, salmon. Now, there's a little issue there. I wouldn't get it from the West Coast. I would get it from the East Coast. But salmon and omegas are very, very helpful with that as well. But we have to be careful of the toxicity of fish these days, and salmon would be a great fish from the from Maine, okay, or from Europe, okay. So there's so many things to help our body using food as medicine, and I've named a few of them today. But what we have to be aware of is the sugar content is actually can exacerbate high blood pressure. It can make it worse. It can keep it from coming down. After all, you're told not to eat salt. No one tells you not to eat sugar, right? So we want to realize that sometimes we have to do our own research. We have to find out things by ourselves. We have to tune in to Natural Health Radio. We have to tune in and find out new things every week. One of the important things about this is high blood pressure can be related to the body being toxic. Okay, so slow cleanse, you can find it at Dr. Dale's wellness store, or the whole body deep cleanse. These are two things that are enormously helpful to lower high blood pressure. Enormously helpful. Also, there's a product that I make called Cholest, CHOLEST. Cholest is used for cholesterol, high lipids, even too low cholesterol, or HDL that is too low. Okay, so this helps to increase the high-density lipoprotein and to bring cholesterol to a normal balance. After all, your liver makes it, right? And the liver makes it in hopefully the right amount. If your liver is non-toxic, if your liver is healthy, if your liver is handling all of everything you're putting in your body every day, your liver has to handle it, and your kidneys as well. So the cleanses help your body to detox. And in doing that, you may find a tremendous difference in your blood pressure and also your blood sugar, okay, by doing a cleanse. It is the most foundational, most important things you can do, and you do it along with a protocol that helps to feed the body good nutrition. You want to get a multiple vitamin that is made from all natural ingredients, that has your best B12, like the methylcobalamin, and the best folinic acid, like 5-methyltetrahydrofolate, which is the most absorbable form of folate, and of course the most absorbable form of B12. These are the most expensive forms, plus the Optimal Multi Pro. It is amazing because it has ashwagandha in it. It has papain, bromelain, rutin. It has schisandra. It has all kinds of completely healthy herbs, as well as your B vitamins in just the right amount, completely natural from food. Better than this you cannot do. It's in veggie caps, and it's non-toxic with no toxic flow agents, no magnesium stearate. So you're really good to go. And that is a great thing. And the other thing that balances that out is the nanoionic multiple mineral. And that is a mineral that it uses is an ionic mineral, non-toxic, cell-ready. You can't become toxic in it, okay, because of the way that it's processed. So we have everything from ionic silver for infections anywhere, and that's what silver is used for in general. It can be used for so many different things, and on the body, on the skin, in the mouth. It's in a spray. And also the nanoionic silica, nanoionic bone formula for bone health. Both women and men need a good bone formula. That's what we have. Also, we have a joint formula, which is a little bit different because the joints actually have synovial fluid in them that keeps everything moving, okay? And then we, have a number of different formulas, including ionic selenium, so very important. And the only ionic iron in the world. So many people are anemic, but they don't take iron because when they do, they get constipated. And this happens with the majority of people where they can't take the iron because they get constipated. Well, I made the only ionic iron in the world that is cell-ready, is non-toxic, and does not we have never had a person so far get constipated from it, or who have told us that they got constipated for it. And it makes sense because it's ionic, and that's why I made it. So the mineral aspect is important, like magnesium. So many people are deficient in magnesium because they eat Big Macs and all kinds of deep fried foods and junk foods and sodas and energy drinks and highly caffeinated, highly sugared drinks and foods and cakes. And all of this food is supposed to be processed by your body. But you know what? Your body just can't do that because it's overwhelmed by all of the junk that you just put in it. And so magnesium is responsible for a few hundred enzymes. It's related so much to the body's natural healing abilities. It's important for our heart muscle. It's important for all of our muscles. It's important for our brain. So we become deficient in magnesium. So you might want to check out the nanoionic magnesium. So in practicing for so long, over the years, maybe 35 years, it became clear to me that in order to treat my patients, I had to look around very carefully for the right, who makes the best ionic this or vitamin supplement this. And it became increasingly more difficult as patients' conditions morphed because they were taking drugs, and they would need more and more things. And I said, there's no way I can give somebody all of these different individual ingredients to do what needs to be done, you know? So I decided to start formulating a line to do what people need, and in as few supplements as possible. For example, the cleanses contain a liver formula that will handle and help and address just about anything that's going on with your liver. You name it, it'll help it. It's used at outpatient clinics of a hospital. The entire cleanse is used, and the cleanse includes kidney formula, which the ingredients, if you look them up, you'll see that it has organic ingredients that are used in Japan and China for serious health conditions like cancer. But I'm not saying legally that this is used for cancer. I'm saying some of the ingredients can be looked up in Medscape and PubMD, and you'll see that some of them are used for that. And then we have a blood cleanser, the whole body, an Immune Pro, and an immune system beast to get to the immune system, to make it stronger. And then we have a colon formula. The colon formula will clean out the diverticuli of the colon. It's not a laxative. It's like a sweeper. Like if you took Mr. Clean and you put him in your colon with those little wipes, it would go in there and scrub every part of it and get all those toxins coming out. That's what you want, right? You want somebody working for you. So the Colon Pro is phenomenal for that. So I would suggest very strongly that you think about and you consider adding a cleanse to your life right now. I do one every 6 months, keeps the body healthy, energetic. Wake up in the morning happy, I'm not depressed, and little things sometimes can set a person off, like Facebook not working sometimes. It was a little frustrating last week, kept going in and out, but basically we have this miracle of life. We wake up every day. We woke up this morning so we could be together today. And what I can tell you is that you're not an accident. I'm not an accident. We're here because we're supposed to be here. We wake up in the morning because we're supposed to wake up in the morning. What are we doing today to help ourselves and other people? What are we doing today to spread the message that people need to really love themselves. They need to empower themselves. And if they're ill, they need to look for a natural way to help their body to heal itself. I believe the body can heal itself so totally that even when I was 22 and knew nothing, I did it myself. I knew nothing. I went to the bookstore, health food store, found a book, opened it up, read it. I thought, okay, here's a diet. I was diagnosed with a uterine tumor. So the only option for me was to get rid of it myself because I recognized that I created it. Things just don't happen to you. There's a part and parcel of everything that happens that is something that you could do about it. So all I'm saying is that whatever you're facing right now in your life, you can do something about it. Never think that you're hopeless. You can, because when you think something is hopeless, that means you've given up. That means you've given in. And you've given in to the wrong side. We want to stay in the light, and we want to know that hope is the truth. Hope is the only reality that works, okay? That is the reality that leads you from a dark place to the brightest light, from a dark place of despair and illness and having health issues to a place of healing and seeing that every day you're getting better and better. every day you are feeling more positive and more positive. So we want to stay in that place where we recognize that we have a soul, we are a spiritual being, we own a body, it's gifted to us, and we can learn to take care of it. So what I'd like to do in the next 15 minutes is hopefully give you a little plan, my little plan for the day on how you can start making changes in your life. Okay, so you get up in the morning, and the first thing that there could be coming out of your mouth is something a friend of mine says, I'm alive, I'm alert, and I feel great. So let's say you wake up in the morning and you got a hangover, okay, from whatever, the pizza, the rock, whatever it is you did, okay. You get up in the morning, rather than going, oh God, you go, oh, I'm so grateful, I'm alive, I'm alert, and I feel great. And as you say things to yourself like that, within a few moments, you start noticing that you are alive, you are alert, and you're feeling better. And then in the next 10 minutes, you're feeling even better. So you have the control of how you want to feel. You are in control of how your body functions. And I think that people need help from time to time. I'm not saying that you don't need help. I'm saying that people can go to other people, other, health providers that they trust, health providers that they get a good feeling about, health providers that do only natural medicine and know what they're doing. That's the kind of person you can go to for help. But you can also spend a lot of positive time educating yourself on the internet about natural medicine. Just try going to our website. Look up some of the articles to start with. Then, if you're a little bit more daring, you can become a member of our wellness club. It's a private association. It's a private healthcare association that is registered with the government. It has its own EIN number, so it's a legal association. And we have protocols in there for helping people, where you could look up protocols for what to take for what issue possibly, and you could check it out with your doctor or not. It's up to you. And you also have audios and videos and a professional self-test that will guide you to understanding your body a lot better. And you'll have a direct email to my email. That's the only place you get a direct email to my email. I am available for my members, and all of this you would think would be a lot of money. Well, to some people it may really be a lot of money. It's $20 a month. And to other people, they've spent tens of thousands for no diagnosis. And I've seen thousands and thousands of people like that who have been to the Mayo Clinic and don't know what they have. They've been given a diagnosis like nonspecific urethritis. That means, I don't know what's wrong with your urethra. It's nonspecific. Okay, so we want to be able to help you find an answer. That answer is not hard to find, but it's going to take someone who looks at natural medicine as a whole, perhaps combining the 5-element theory of Chinese medicine with homeopathy, naturopathy, perhaps doing some structural work. Perhaps it could include many different things. What I'm saying is that you need to be in charge of how that happens. We only have about 10 minutes left. So if you have questions, make a note of the questions, please, and then email them on Facebook, and then we'll get them to you. They'll get them to me, and I'll make sure to discuss it next week, just like I did that this week. So if you don't know what questions they were, then rewind this tape and listen to the beginning. So we discussed today a little bit about GMOs, a little bit about high blood pressure, and instead of salt being the culprit, sugar is without a doubt a big culprit, not the only culprit, but can contribute or exacerbate high blood pressure more so than salt. We discussed foods that can actually help as a preventative, keep your arteries clean. If you already have blocked arteries, definitely eat a lot of these foods that I talked about earlier. We want to inspire you to come back in next week and the week after, because we're going to be having guests that I've invited to discuss how they help people with natural medicine and also with spirituality and success. So success and spirituality, it's very important to have spirituality as a basis behind success. And we're going to be talking about more of that in the future. We want to remind you that you're in charge of your body, mind, and spirit. And meditation is one of the most important things that you can do. So we can see meditation and know that whether you do transcendental meditation or you do Buddhist meditation, or you sit on the beach and just let nature give you its own meditation, whatever it may be, it's very important to, people think it's to stop the mind. It's not to stop the mind. It's to transcend the mind. So we want to transcend the stress, the ideas, the any negative tapes that are going on, any negativity or any tapes that keep running back and forth in your mind over and over and over again. We want to transcend that, and that is what meditation should do. It's not about forcing your mind to be still. It's about transcending all of these things that keep you from having a magnificent experience and understanding more of who you are. So it's all very important. It's mind, body, spirit. So when we're talking about food, we're talking about today the importance of not eating sugar, the importance of having a little bit of salt, Celtic sea salt, or Himalayan salt, or some kind of non-processed healthy salt that has other minerals in it, not your iodized salt that you would find in the regular store, but a good quality salt, and having a tiny little bit of that during the day, especially if you're exercising. I mean, if you're not exercising at all and you're just sitting at home, or you're at this moment confined to a wheelchair, I would eliminate all but a very tiny bit of salt, and I would also eliminate any canned foods. Canned foods is sitting in a metal can that's lined with bisphenol A, okay, and has metal around the top. That's what we're consuming. It's in the food. So we want, if we just eliminated all the canned foods from our pantry, okay, that would be a magnificent thing to do. So we want to think about how we can help each other, how we can help ourselves, and have a better, happier life. And as I was saying, emotions are really key to this. And I would guess to say that many people today, whether it's emotions related to our job or our relationship, wondering how do we make things better? How do we make more money? How do we become more successful? How do we generate ideas that are money-making ideas? We're going to have a lot of information coming to you in the next few weeks over the next few weeks on this show as far as engaging in a business that is guided by your spirituality. And if you think you don't have any, that's okay too. We're just saying that you have to see certain things in life in a more expanded way, and not be living in a box, afraid to break down the wall. We have to come out of the box and look at life that way, from outside of the box, because life is great. Life is expansive. Life has so many possibilities for a variety of realities that we can create ourselves. In other words, we have choices. Do we want to create the reality of suffering and pain, or do we want to create the reality of joy and bliss? Okay? And I hate to make it so cut and dry, but I'm trying to make a point. Okay, so that point is that we have to think about our choices. Our thoughts are things, our thoughts create. Put your attention on what you want to create, not on what you don't want to create. So do not focus on the things that you don't want to create. Do not focus on those things that are bothering you. Do not focus on things that that worry you, because worry is negative. We want to only focus on the things you want to create, on the things you want. Okay? When you can do that, just focus on the things that you want to create. Stay focused on it. You'll see huge changes in your life in every way. So if you want to create a great, healthy body, you want to create this body that is thinner, healthier, all of that. For example, you don't want to focus on the fact that you're 300 pounds. You want to focus on your having a healthy, thin body. You want to focus on what you want to create, no matter what it may look like in the mirror. It doesn't matter, because everything can change. Okay, and that is up to your thinking. This is up to your thinking more than any pill. It's also up to food, because if you're thinking that you want to create losing 100 pounds or 50 pounds or whatever it is, then you have to love yourself and put the right food in, but you also have to think the right thoughts. We only have about 2 minutes left, and I want to invite you, please send me questions, and I will discuss them and all aspects of them next week. And because everybody's interested in knowing about these things like human papillomavirus and what happens if you get it and what can fix it. So we discussed that at the beginning of this radio show. You are on Natural Health Radio. This is Dr. Teresa Dale, and we are also on Facebook Live. I want to thank you so much. Make sure to check out wellnesscenter.net and the California College of Natural Medicine, which is www.cconm.com, and wellnesscenter.net. And if you are interested in checking out the products, go to Dr. Dale's wellnessstore.com. I wish you many blessings, and I so look forward to being here with you again next week, and look forward to answering any questions that you may have. Many blessings again, and have a terrific week. Bye-bye for now.